Mario,
Yes.
I felt when I was looking at putting this project together, I felt it was really important for people to understand what happens in council meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a copy to publicize it, but when you read my book, The Diary of a Councillor, which was just reflections on my first 18 months, you made the comment when we were together at one point that there were a lot of things in there that you kind of assumed that people knew,
Correct.
but
And in
clearly
fact,
didn't.
clearly people didn't know. If you want to call my section under the boardwalk, it will be very interesting to mix it with the boardwalk.
Yeah.
I'm not a drifter, but I try to find out and understand what is happening in the town hall. I have been, as you know, 10 years as a councillor. I have been in the government. Now we share the opposition bench, even though we haven't moved place.
Right.
We have the same place. We don't change from left to right. And I get a lot of questions from people who do not understand why things happen in this way. And I think it is very important that people know how their money is managed, where it is invested, and which is the job of the 25 councillors that they elect every 4 years, among which the mayor is elected.
Yeah.
And it is important that they know whom to talk to, how to ask for things, how to have relationships with the town hall.
Yeah.
We cannot live behind the town hall in the same way as foreigners cannot live under the carpet. If Brexit is bringing us
not
something,
anymore. Anyway.
That's right. If Brexit is bringing us something positive, is that many foreigners have realized that they have to show up. They have to say, yes, I'm here. Yeah. And I cannot hide anymore from the tax office or from the Inland Revenue Service or from whatever. We all have our liabilities, but also we all have our rights. And it is time that we know which are our rights and how can we demand them.
Yeah, well, I say it's kind of good timing having you on tonight because for very strange reasons, we had a council meeting this morning, Thursday. Normally it takes place on the last Wednesday of the month. And we got a message and I think Mario thought that I had misunderstood it, but actually I had understood it. We got this very strange message saying, for technical reasons, we have to shift the date of the council meeting from Wednesday to Thursday. And of course, I don't mind pretending to be the stupid one and saying, with all the money we're spending on information technology, we've got technical reasons getting an email out. But you see, where I come from, technical reasons means your email's not working.
There is always a computer to be blamed. That's something that many people have already learned. I will tell you something. One of the positive things of this mayor, he doesn't do everything wrong, I have to admit it, was that from the beginning of his term, 2 years ago, he said we will have the monthly meeting on the last Wednesday of the month. Yeah. The law requests that the call for that meeting has to be at least within 2 working days in advance. So as Sunday and Saturday are not working days, that official call for the meeting has to be done on a Friday. And it has been like that since June 2019, until last Friday. The email didn't arrive. Usually they send an email and also a WhatsApp group, because believe it, we all are in a WhatsApp group in which we don't blame each other. We simply share important information of the town hall. And on Friday afternoon, I got in touch with some people, some civil servants in the town hall, asking them what was happening, why that call has not been received, why the meeting has not been officially called. And they told me that it would be done on Monday. I said, sorry, Monday is too late. The law says 2 working days, not 48 hours, 2 working days. So they didn't care about my opinion. That's very usual. I am already got used to that. And they sent the call on Monday morning, calling the meeting for Wednesday. Obviously, someone else told them, listen, this is illegal. Someone could object the decisions that you take. And then the meeting was rescheduled for Thursday today. And we don't know why they move it from 10 o'clock in the morning and to 8:45, and that's why we have ended having our meeting on a Thursday at 8:45 in the morning.
Yeah. So, Mario, without going into too much detail today, one of the things that you're going to do for us, and honestly, I trust you implicitly to do this, is to give feedback on the kind of things that happen in the council meetings, the kind of decisions that are taken, but also the kind of the reasoning behind some of these things, which I think is quite important, because if people read the paper, they might see, for example, Mario Bravo voted against this or voted against that. And if that happens, there's always a reason for it, isn't it? It's not because you don't agree with it.
Correct.
Usually a legal reason behind it, isn't there?
And I can give you several samples of today. Mijas is called a great population city. This means that most of the decisions are taken by the mayor and his councillors in government and do not come to the monthly meeting. But there are still some decisions to be taken in the, we call it pleno, because the 25 councillors are called for that. So it is a full meeting. And today they have brought some invoices, monthly invoices, to be paid to the children's schools in Mijas. You may know that the Mijas Town Hall gets some money from the regional government to be paid to the children's school. They are not called kindergarten anymore, but a school for children up to 5 years old. Right. And they have been...
We would probably call it nursery school.
Nursery schools. And the invoice has been today on the table. Why? We have to start saying that those invoices are paid regularly by the town hall. It is their obligation, and they do it very often. So why did this invoice came today? Because there was something wrong. And the law says that they have to bring it to this meeting, not only to be ashamed, that will be too naughty, but at least to give explanation and also to promise to do it better the next time. And which was the reason behind that the contract to run those children's school finished in June 2016 and June 2017. So this means that those schools have been without contract with the company that is running them for 2, 3, or 4 years.
Right.
We are in agreement to pay those bills, but we cannot be in agreement of keeping these activities without a proper contract. Right. That is what we blame 1 month after another month. And we don't get any explanation at all. They simply say, we are working on it. How can you be working on a contract for 3 years? That is ridiculous, and that is why we are angry.
But I think that that's a very important thing for people to understand, that, you know, we don't pay people for services if we don't have a contract with them.
Correct. We cannot. The law forces us to put every contract out for a tender. You can employ an electrician to repair your house, whoever you want to, and pay whatever you want to, but we cannot do that. The law requests that as we are handling public money, we have to put almost everything for tender. I say almost because there is a limit under which the councillors can more or less decide which supplier will get the contract. But about certain limits, things have to be put up for tender publicly. And there is a platform where everybody can see the offers of the town hall. And you can also see which is not offered. And that is our concern, whatever does not appear on that platform.
Okay, Mario. So I think people will get an idea that there's going to be an opportunity, and you will be scheduled for the Thursday after the council meeting. So everything will be fresh. And I think it will be more understandable than writing a post for Facebook, because honestly, I don't think anyone would read it. It's going to be too long and too dull and too boring, and they'll probably give up halfway through. So you really are going to be talking to us about these things and explaining the way certain things work in the council.
Let me add something important, Bill, now that we were talking about the boardwalk. Today you may have seen on the press, and for sure you will see that tomorrow, Friday, that the boardwalk, we call it Senda Litoral, has gone out for tender from La Cala to Fuengirola.
Okay.
That is only partially correct. Why? I want to explain this. We are talking about 5,300 meters, but there are 2,300 meters which will not be built. That is the area exactly in front of Chaparral urbanization.
Okay.
So this boardwalk that they are publishing so much nowadays, and you will see with big capital letters on the Mijas Semanal tomorrow, in fact goes only from very close to the Olivia's restaurant to the Sheriff's Pizzeria in front of Las Bugambillas. It will stop there and will recommence in the changeway of El Faro. So between the Sheriff Pizzeria and El Faro, the changeway, there is nothing still approved. Why?
Okay,
because that is the difficult area.
We're going to just have to get our feet wet on that one then.
In that area is complicated. Apparently, some houses have already occupied the theoretical part where the boardwalk would go. And even though this government has been there for 7 years, once we left in 2015, so 6 years, they have not done anything at this respect. So they prefer to at least try to start these two parts, from Olivia to the Sheriff Pizzeria and from the changeway in El Faro down to the castle whenever Mijas finishes, and leave this main central area for later.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mario.